Welcome back, guys, or good morning to everybody that's going to be watching this later on. I'm going to tell you guys this is my testimony, and I'm going to give you guys full proof of everything that's going on. And this is not just because I want to end up telling people, this is how I live, and this is what the circumstances, and this is why I live with the choices, the face, the certain things that are going on. I know that a lot of people are asking me a lot of questions. So let's dive into it, and today is going to be that. So we hope that you guys enjoy it. Let's go. Well, if you guys have been joining us, we've been going through different topics, and this one's testimony because I was told as long as I got my testimony out there, maybe then people in this community or the guy that I was telling you guys about, or people just in life, will actually accept who people are today. So as we go along, I'm going to tell you guys a lot of things, and we're going to make this about 15 minutes. It might, 15 minutes, and that's it. So let's get going. All right, so this testimony is what I was told by a brother or a friend, somebody in my life that I was walking with for a good 6 months. And then when he obviously is telling me certain things, there is proof that he does not want to believe me or trust anything I say. So I'm making this sincerely just for mainly him, but it is also for this class and people that need help. And it's just like we all do. So let's go into it. Sorry. So because I ended up going to these, my testimony is that I know there's a reason. There's a reason why I'm here. There's a reason why I'm making these videos. There's a reason why I have not been able to find a relationship or have anything from there. So, well, you know how life can be a bumpy road, and you know how it can come up, and some people in this world are just going to end up telling you how it is, and that's okay. So, um, let's don't just dive into it. Let's actually get to the phrase. Yes, I don't live in America, but I have an accent somewhere, is what I was told. So, but if people know who I actually am, they know what's up and they know where I'm at located all the time. So, um, the testimony I'm going to give to you guys is everything about faith and what does it mean. I'm going to go into it. Here is so the testimony I'm saying is yes, our flesh desires certain things. We desire the Satan, we desire the lights, the flickering things, the darkness, the things that are running away from certain uh, blessings in this life. So even though that this is all going on, there is a phrase that people are going to say, well, what are you talking about? Let's dive closer to why I broke down and I have to rebuild my foundation around people and loved ones. Even though that I was troubled with scaredness, worries, and we all have worries, we all have concerns, we all have maybe PTSD, or we end up having certain symptoms that a lot of people in this world are going to say. So I was a drug addict, I was an alcoholic, I was a person that came from the streets, and I ended up basically just going through life living like everybody else in the world, not knowing what my purpose was, what my passion was, and what my power was, performance that I could have ended up stopping before it got out of hand. I also ended up falling into uh, multiple times of therapy. And I know that a lot of people are going to be like, wait, you walked into therapy? Yes, there's a lot of people why, and there's a lot of questions and worries that are on my mind. So as I'm going through life, I'm popping pills, I'm drinking, I'm doing this, waking up, hitting the bottle again every single day, almost 24 hours plus a day. And so I was either high or I was drunk or I had never been to a strip club, but I worked at a bowling alley and, all this going on. So for several years, I thought because people in the world were living a certain way, maybe I should follow them. And yes, I'm in the world, but I'm not from the world, if that makes total sense to a single person. After I've been going through these, I want to say recovery classes and AA meetings and all these different meetings that I've been going through, I've been told that I'm either normal or I have a problem. I've also been told I've had more problems in my life than I have getting told that, hey, there is a reason and there is a reason why we need to defeat this enemy or whatever it might be. So even though that I'm struggling with popping pills, drinking, doing this stuff, drinking, waking up, doing it, I obviously just am 23 days sober. Um, because this is obviously tomorrow when I'm making this video. So uh, even though that I'm popping, I'm doing this, and I can tell you, my family's not just proud of me; they are experiencing a different version of what I could have stopped a long time ago, which I can't seem to let go of pornography when this is all going on. When you have a drug, you need a substance, a second substance, and then you're watching these ladies everywhere on TV. Then you're watching Two Broke Girls, and then you're tripping balls, you're hallucinating, you're going through this. Now that's not me. That's just what I've been. Those are the different experiences that I've walked through. When I talk about tripping balls, it's just, dude, you're hungover, you don't know what you're doing. You might have a headache, you might have something else, you don't know what life stands for. So as I'm digging deeper and stuff, and I'm obviously trying to dig 100% with all this going on, it seems like I was living for myself, and a percentage of the world is living for themselves, but that's because they don't understand yet, or they are not alive yet. Obviously, they're just little kids that are growing up. So as I'm going through this, I'm going through it. I can tell you that my mentor or people in my life would tell you that I've been hitting the bottle every single night and there's no questions asked. And I'm going to tell you that I have to agree with every single person that says that because I don't want to start a fight. So if anyone that is a mentor or a friend or a coworker or struggling with drugs or alcohol, I understand. I'm not the only one. My mentor understands, but with him basically puffing himself up with pride and making me feel like I'm worthless and have nothing to look forward to every single Friday when I go to these meetings. Now, I could be mad for a week, 2 weeks, or whatever, but deep inside, you got to keep a smile on my face, right? Or you got to keep a smile on your face. If you keep a smile on your face, it's going to cheer up the neighbors and people in the community, and people are going to like you more. Somebody I listened to recently, and I've been listening to him for, I give or take, maybe the last 2 weeks, maybe even less than that, maybe 10 days. Okay, 2 weeks is exactly. But as I started listening to him, seems started to get better. Seems everything's still slowly getting up. And yes, I did work out today. So it's the best part about it. Because I'm not using anymore, now I'm at the gym. Now when I'm at the gym, I'm taking long walks. I'm taking about, give or take, it's up to about an hour, give or take. In the depending on the day, I would go running. I would hang out with buddies that would want to go bowling, that would want to go. Well, some of them wanted to have parties with people from bars, from strip clubs, and everything from there. And we're talking just about anybody in my life. So from the average man to the average woman, I was spending time with people in the past that I broke down. I fell into a very dark place. And since I haven't been drinking and taking drugs, my attitude has kind of afflected and deflected just like a heart rate. It has went up and it's working fine, and then boom, one day I just have a crashing day yesterday, and it seems like the world is against me, and there's a few people here and there that are willing to understand my story and take the stuff in. Now, I obviously was going to groups and stuff before this, and I was going kind of to these different meetings all over just about every single day. I would say what took me the longest to get over was, I think, the alcohol at this point, but it could have been both. And I've been told that I've been ignorant of not understanding. Um, a lot of big words, not enough time in the world to depend on anybody to actually sit take this stuff in. Uh, so even though that I'm walking through life and I'm doing this stuff and I'm obviously maybe a crap head or shithead or whatever people want to say about me, I've been told from the worst of the worst words to I'm a coward and there's no point um, to do anything right, right? In their eyes, they thought I was just wasting their time. And since they don't understand me, it's going to be very difficult for them to ever take this stuff in. And of how much I'm planning on showing a difference that's to my even my mother when I speak to her again at some point. Getting adopted and separated from my family at birth, it has kind of affected with my schedule and my time of, well, should I have a job? Should I not have a job? If I have a job, where can I work? Because alcohol and drugs are the main cause of a lot of people's anxiety. Um, Now it's not like I'm gonna go out and pop another pill or whatever. It's like I can't even pop sleeping pills because I get sick. I get sick to the point where now even if I'm thinking about using or taking, I have to remind myself every single day that the reasons why I quit. And the reasons why when I think about that stuff, I will go take a walk, I'll go to family's house, I'll go to a friend's house, I'll go to sports class, I'll go to um, Bible class, whatever it might be, or even seminary, stuff like that is what I'm talking about like now. But as we're finishing up this video, and I know that a lot of people are even like, well, he didn't really go into his testimony. Well, the testimony was I got saved 13 years ago, and I was 12 years old. I got baptized. I got risen from the dead, knowing that that's what I'm doing. And God wants every single person in this world to come to him. No questions asked. And I can tell you, even if people are like, oh, well, that doesn't make any sense, you got to understand. I come from a very dark background. And watching scary movies every single day, adding drugs, alcohol, pounding and pounding and pounding and pounding, and wishing that is anything going to get better. Well, I can tell you everything did get better, but not when I was using. Not when people are using. It seems like, oh, well, it's just another day like in paradise. So I'll just light up another cigarette. I haven't had a smoke in almost 2 weeks, over 2 weeks, maybe even longer than that. As long as I've been sober, I haven't had a smoke. And when I would drink, I would just take a cigarette. I would take these 3-hour walks. I would be on the phone with people. I'd be calling friends and family, and I would even call my homosexual gay friend. As a lot of people in this world know that gay people are fine, and that's cool. But I don't take offense to it anymore because now I no longer want to be a gay, and I don't want to be a bisexual. I don't want to obviously become a woman. I don't want to become something that is going to not just hurt me, but hurt the family that I live with or I lived with in the past tense. I I guess I'm just gonna have to go on a little bit longer. But on this note, we are finishing up, and we hope that you guys can take this stuff in. I'm gonna finish on one more story. Just give me a quick second. Well, so even though that I'm going through this rough patch and I'm struggling with depression, and is what I've been told is depression is just basically puffing up yourself with pride. That's the best way. So I guess we're gonna go a little bit longer because obviously I know that people are gonna take this stuff in and they're like, "What the fuck? Like, what is he talking about?" I actually don't care. The people that I used to hang out with were drug dealers, drug people, alcohol people, people that are angry at certain things that are going on in their life. Like, take it for instance, if like when we say that we're scared, we're worried, we're upset, we're disappointed, we're separating ourselves and saying that we don't really trust in what God has done today. Knowing that we can boast about it, we can talk about it, but God sincerely wants every single person, no matter good people, bad people, people that end up celebrating Halloween every single day or celebrating other things that are going on in the world that we are not being able to see yet. But there is a lot of stuff coming. Like the eclipse was just one of those special events that went on, and oh well. So it happened. That was part of life, but when I'm at these meetings or when I was in therapy under this stuff, I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel upset. I actually felt no emotions. Like I didn't even have a reason to be anywhere. Like I was wasting their time. Like I was just every single time I was drinking, I was going and getting a drink, communicating with my gay friend, whatever it might have been, and doing this stuff. And I'm not ashamed now, knowing that I can finally admit that I was, and I no longer, and I've finally surrendered and given up. Testimony is surrendering to everything that you've done in the past and knowing that God's going to change you from the inside out. Whether you were going through a rough patch, whether you're a drinker, whether you're alcoholic, whatever it might be. This dude was pounding drugs every single day. And you hear stories all over the globe. You hear stories on being locked up and all this stuff on Hulu and stuff. And you also watch it on Max or Netflix or stuff like that. Like I was very, very bad person. I was listening to Chucky. I was watching Chucky. I was doing things that I shouldn't have, and obviously, I don't feel guilt for this anymore. I was sitting myself in the dark all the time. I was constantly never leaving my room. I was always making videos. If not making videos, I was out smoking, vaping, drinking, going to get more liquor, going out doing things that were deactivating and separating me from everybody around me. Now, I don't know if people even care, but this is what God died for me. He died for all the drugs and alcohol that I've done. Even when I'm lying, even when I'm signing, even when people are going to lie to me, even when people are going to go out of control and say, you know what, he's a hypocrite because of blah, 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 blah. Not even telling me the reasons why. They're going to tell me that I'm an effing beef. Just to, like, all we want to do is curse. Every single time that I was told that I need to be on pills like 6 months ago, I was told I need to be on antidepressants and then bipolar and all this and that. Every single pill out there is what the doctor wanted to put me on, knowing that it's not going to help me. But deep inside, I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I have a clean conscience. right in front of God, even when I surrender or when I give in. When I give in, I need to pray and I need to separate myself. That's why I go on these walks. That's why I go to these meetings. That's why I go to this Bible school, because there's a reason for every single person to achieve. And now, like, look at it this way: every person I used to hang out with, they don't just want to hang out with me. They want me to go back to drugs and alcohol. Now, these people in these at these groups are not willing to admit that they don't need pills in their system. They're still taking antidepressants. They're still taking this and that. And I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying that that's all they use, and then they tell me and curse me out for no other reason, right? Well, should I even try? Should I even care? Should I care about this, brother? God says, love your enemy just like you love yourself. A lot of us are going to say, well, we love ourselves, but we can't even help a neighbor out with maybe uh, giving them their mail back that may not even exist to us, or not going out of our way to make somebody happy. But if there's a plan that comes up, and okay, maybe a bad situation, a friend or a family member, a girlfriend, whatever, comes into your life and says, well, I need some money, and they're trying to give you gift cards. Or it's the other way around. They want you to buy them gift cards because they call that true love in the 21st century, which it's not, but go to figure that this world is going to come to a stop on every single day, and we got to live every single day like a blessing in disguise, giving goals that are going to happen. I'm proud to say that I can't be ashamed of all this stuff. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be times that I'm going to end up going and I'm going to fall into a darker deep end of the shadow, or I'm going to fall into this swimming pool at 14 or 18 inches, whatever it might be, which is just, those are very giant pools. And diving boards, you're amazing. Like, summertime comes, you want to go out swimming. When the winter comes, you want to stay in. You want to drink hot cocoa. You want to have cookies, spend time with friends, family, and all this. Christmas Day comes around. I don't want to go anywhere the last 2 years. There's been times I've tried to distance my family for months, for 4 days, or even weeks, and would never let them know what's going on in my life. I'm in this relationship or that relationship, or this mother doesn't want to confess something that may be going on. It's just the way it is. We're all going through troubles. We're all going through hardships. We're all going through shit, just to sum it out. Some of us are in prison. Some of us are in the hospital. Some of us are going back to jail because of certain reasons that we put ourselves there. And, I finally ended up making it out alive. That I've only been one time and I'm never going to have to go back. But when it comes to, oh, well, maybe your friend is right about everything and all you have to do is agree with him and act like it's not a big deal. You can if you want, but you need to end up shaping up and you need to know, is this going to be okay? I don't care if it's going to take 30 years, if it's going to take 20 minutes, if it's going to take 3 hours of conversation that somebody needs to sit down with somebody. Me and my best friends, plural, either past tense or even future, all of them, we all had the exact same goals. I don't want to have a job, but my family wants me to. I'm getting told by this dude that I need an effing job, and there's no reason to fall basically right back into a trap hole, or a mouse trap, or whatever it might be that comes up in our life that we can't manage. But when you go through all this, life has its ups and downs. Life has its curves. Life has the points that we all need to separate ourselves. Now, I'm not saying life is going to be perfect and peaches and grapes and oranges and cherries and blueberries and raspberries and whatever it might be, Cheetos, Takis, whatever it might be, Monsters, energy drinks. And I'm not saying that some of this stuff is going to be, it's fine. But to me, I drink energy drinks to avoid the pain that I put everybody in. And I've been apologizing for the last multiple 6 months, maybe even longer. But this last 6 months, I'm going to tell you that straight up, I've been straight up honest with them. They're straight up honest with me. I don't know if everybody remembers Live It to Beaver in the back of the days, back in the 50s and 60s. But that's a lot of times what we would watch since we were 8 years old, maybe even younger than that. So if you guys are interested in getting to know more about this stuff, we are down to our last 3 minutes because I don't want to end up taking up a lot of time knowing that I need to go to sleep, knowing that I do have a meeting in the morning, and knowing that life we need to live it like there's no tomorrow. But I'm not saying going out to strip clubs and doing all that is going to end up making me happy. It's a heart problem, not a, well, he said or she said I want to watch pornography, and that's fine, when really it's the inner man of what it is. But if anybody doesn't already know it, we all need to put our trust in what Jesus has done on that cross. He died for my sins. He was buried and rose again the third day. Everything else, domino effect, or even life will start straightening out. But you have to you have to give full control and testimony that life is going to have its ups and downs. And if you have any questions, if you have any statements, if people in this world are not understanding why people are talking about this, well, they're talking about God, and I don't really know about it. I say, talk to your local pastor, talk to your neighbor, talk to somebody in the community. If you need to go and talk to a father or a friend to sit down with them and have lunch, or even communicate what's going on and whatever. We all need people in our lives, and until we're ready to obviously admit and sacrifice that we could give everything up to our Lord and Savior in heaven, that is watching every single damn thing that we end up doing, no matter what, good or bad. The bad things, the troubling times, the times we've been arrested, the times we've been everywhere, in the wrong places at the wrong time, taking this, that, drink. God says, come to me as you are. Stay faithful. Keep my commandments, right? There used to be 613 commandments that they had to live back by certain things that were going on. But we can still make videos, we can still talk about all this, but we have to live with our personal lives. What do we do in that office alone? What do we do in that bedroom? What do we do at home? What do we do in the community when we are thinking about what the goals that we're trying to achieve? But as we're trying to finish and we're coming to a complete stop, I recommend that Jesus is coming back. He's the truth, the way, and he's going to be here forever. So if you haven't already believed in him, I give you guys permission, and I'm going to tell you that it's the best gift you'll ever be. It's not even like, it's a million times better than getting married to the person that might either be the good person, the right person, the wrong person, or whatever, or even that relationship that people haven't been able to talk about. Like, well, maybe I should take it a little bit more longer, or wait 6 more months, or whatever, and then I'll end up making a decision on if I should or shouldn't. That's not what he wants. He wants you to be still. He wants you as you are. He wants you to sit in prayer. He wants you to read the Bible, the scriptures. He wants you to meditate on the words. He wants you to do this stuff daily. Whether we're getting in a fight, whether we have anger issues, whether we have this and that, every single person has some shape or form of something that's going on in our life. And I'm very proud to tell you that I'm not perfect, and I'm not going to have all the answers even at mid-20s or whatever, and nobody even cares. When I know that that's a lie from Satan or the devil that we worship on Halloween, or these Halloween movies are very disturbing. And I mean, but you can say that even the people that are writing them may not even understand what it means to come to saving faith or to give everything over to him. Because I'm more scared today than I was 6 months ago. The last time I made a video in November, we're almost at 6 months. That was the last time I ever drank until I fell again, which took 2 more times, and then I fell back in January and Christmas and New Year's and February. But it's because I'm lonely inside, and God says don't. Even some of the 12 disciples were alone, right? They were alone. They had no answers. They were in this big boat going across the sea, and knowing that the disciples that were in there, they are losing faith because, oh, we're going to crash, and God's sleeping in this raft and stuff, and you wonder, is that me? Yes, that's exactly every single day we should be living like brimstone, like we're living on the edge, and this is the last day we ever have, but God's going to press through once you believe and trust in him. Coming to that point that we're almost done, I'm going a little bit further because some people in this world are like going to end up telling me a bunch of things. That's just the way life is. People in this life knowing that it could be the change or it could be the circumstance. And the confession confesses dealing with scaredness, being worried, being anxious, being stuck in my mindset of agony and worried and not being enough. And this is a really bad problem for 90% of the world. We can't even see. We can't see until we believe. We can't even end up understanding. Take the kid in the candy store. They want candy because they desire it, just like the parents did, the grandparents, the people before that, and the people give or take back in Jesus's day. People are going to spit on me. People are going to tell me that I'm wrong. Me and my family don't even get along sometimes, and that's just how life is. That's just the nature of the sin nature that we live in. The flesh desires tattoos. The flesh desires certain things that are on our skin. The flesh desires the alcohol, the temptations that we struggle with, the maybe not being able to sleep good enough. Like this is life, and don't get me wrong. If I never came to saving faith, I would still be out there partying and probably be dead in the gutter somewhere, and that's probably how I would have lived my life. But coming to that analogy that, I do have a problem, I realize repenting is changing your opinion, changing your mind, and approaching the right goals. Knowing that you don't have to have all the answers today, but at some point in your life you will. You don't even have to have the answers today. You don't have to have the answers the next 300 days from now or next year. We need to live for today, because today is when we need to be ready for the Lord, because God is like a thief in the middle of the night, knowing that he could come at any point that we don't even know. He could even come during the day when we're at work or when we're troubled and when we're worried. When we're worried, we're not trusting what God says. We're trusting in our own plan, thinking that our flesh or mindset or whatever we do, it's the way it is. And I don't know if it's going to ever get right, but if you end up listening to this, even Jesus got tempted 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness in one of the scriptures in the Bible verse. Knowing I don't have to, you need to know a little bit about it. And being a minister, being a person that teaches the Bible, is going to be more confident and probably more worried about teaching the Bible. But I'm just explaining things that I've been struggling with, and and coming out and being able to accept that I don't have to have any answers. I don't even have to agree with anybody. I can disagree with everybody and still go into prayer. Like, because I'm listening to this dude that's obviously not in the US or whatever, maybe he is, I don't know. But he's the best thing that's ever happened. I'll take it for this. This is something that a lot of my family would even do. So because I don't wear a bike, because I don't wear a helmet in the road, or because I go on these bicycles, or because I was on the mountaintop and almost shattered up my knee or even broke me, um, if not even seconds away from being in the hospital, and I probably wouldn't have left, but I probably would be on life support until December, um, depending on how bad the severe was. But because I'm young and obviously I look like I'm younger than mid-teens, 20s, whatever, it's the way it is. People are going to tell me that I'm fine. And this being riding my bike in the road and not carrying it and riding it like a person that doesn't even care, putting on a mask and letting that mask take over you is like, if you've ever watched the Jim Carrey mask movie, he puts on a mask to try to end up getting the pretty lady, the beautiful lady or the girl. And, I have more time to actually sit down, take a Sunday rest, whatever. Um, God, God ended up serving and resting on the Sabbath day. Satan or the enemy is trying to take you away. He's trying to rip every single person. And the closer you get to the scriptures and all that, the closer that you're basically a threat to the world. And no matter questions, people are going to tell you things that are going to end up being way out of hand. They're going to agree with you until they don't. They're going to end up leaving you until they don't. They're going to end up saying that, well, maybe I should talk about this movie, or maybe I should talk about this beautiful girl's blah, 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 fill in the blank, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the world would know what I'm talking about. Like, okay, so take it for just a little over 7 months ago, a year ago, and I'm we're walking down the beach as people are, and when this all happened, my dad ended up showing and recommending that I should basically take a picture with all these people, right? In my head, I'm thinking bullshit, but he basically threw me under the bus. I got beautiful women. Then he gives me this as a birthday gift, and it's a cherish. I cherish this. My friend obviously says that he needs to put a bag over somebody's head. His way of showing what life is. But because you can get these at your closest store, these beautiful women are people that I just kind of came upon me, and you can see that I'm not even looking at it because of how I was trying to put on a mask, knowing that I didn't have any of the answers right, knowing I was definitely wrong, but I did this anyways because that was who I was. Putting on a mask, thinking that if I put on my hood, I'm looking like a big punk, knowing that I don't have to choose this, knowing that the choice ended up making me when I started using it again in that time zone. But it's in the middle of the summer sometime, and I just kind of break down in the middle of a day, and, you know, God knows everything. He knows all of our turns. He knows when we're going poop. He knows when we're going to the bathroom. He knows when we're going on trips, when we're on the airplane, when we're doing things, traveling, going to the Canada, when we're going to out of the United States, when we're going to Australia or anything. Just like shout out to my friends in Australia. What's up, girls? And I know that you're beautiful just the way you are. So just keep it real. They have obviously changed who they actually are, their personality, and people start cherishing them. Well, I fell into this sin of watching lesbians, no questions asked. I was more interested in all of that than I was living for the moment, when I should be obviously slowing down and taking it a day at a time. I took it as putting on a damn fucking mask and never ended up coming back. There was no questions asked. And when people sin, it's a sin nature. It's not a, well, I need to change my hair. I need to dye my hair, whatever it might be. I need to put on this necklace, or I need to put on this bra, or I need to put on this magical underwear to end up getting laid or whatever. Like, yeah, that's all fun and games if you want to end up losing your life and falling back into temptations and going back to the bar and doing all that stuff. But I have a conscience that I don't have to ride my bike in the road. I can finally be like, you know what? I made dinner today. I made taco stew, taco salad, actually taco salad, which was anything without salad. So it was really just taco soup. A lot of people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? I made dinner tonight because why not? And, I'm only cursing because that's who I am. And that's the sin nature telling me that I need to shut down and go to sleep. And that's obviously God's prompting of saying that, yes, you could keep speaking and telling a bunch of nonsense or whatever to a lot of people in the world. But a lot of people are not ready to. They're not ready to shut their mouth. They're not ready to shut up. They're not ready to sit down and shut the fuck up and actually listen, knowing that I could talk to this wall and the wall would have more support than I would. I could talk to, uh, I could end up some vaping or smoking or whatever and talking to the clouds, or I could end up listening to the next song or whatever. But it's not about all that. The testimony is I got saved at a young age. I got baptized. I did this. I went to church. I fell apart. I fell into a wrong crowd. And I came to Jesus knowing that he did die on that cross and he did come back. He is alive today inside of all of us, all of our air inside, whether it's in our oxygen tanks or even in our blood streams. There's a reason for every single person in this lifetime to come to salvation because it's the best gift you could ever do. You can pull off your mask. You can start living right. People don't have to tell you that you're right or wrong. You can admit that you're wrong, and you can walk away. Like, I don't have to do this, but I can tell you that I appreciate when somebody points something out when I am wrong, because what it does, and as my family would say, you get mad about everything and you don't really care about anybody but yourself. That's how I live. I live with a mask on my face. A figure of speech is just saying that I put this on. I was pounding drugs. I was listening to music. I was shutting my family out. I was getting mad. I was just an ongoing piece of shit. And watching Jeffrey Dahmer is not going to help it. I was a fucking loser and didn't care about anything but myself. But if I was going to get this next pill, that pill, whatever, and I let go. I finally have the cleanest conscience that I don't have to ever talk about all of this, as people would say, nonsense, noise, or even irritation, pushing certain buttons, knowing it's going to hurt me and penetrate 99% of every single person in life. It's going to push people away, but what you need to do, as I got taught today by my dude out of the world and out of the United States, he recommended that if you want to have friends, you could end up having a double conversation saying that you say, well, how's it going? And then they say, I'm either doing good or I'm sad or disappointed. And then you try to talk it out. You ask why, what have you been up to? Why haven't we spoken? And I haven't spoken to my friend in like 2 years. And obviously family brings him up. But it's because there's a lot of challenges in their minds to take thinking having people take advantage of me, knowing that maybe in their mind, I give up. I throw in the towel. It's just like, okay, I'm done with sports, so I'm going to end up just retiring. And after 25 years, whatever, maybe then I'll end up making it, and maybe God will be proud of me. God says, be ready today. He doesn't say you can't end up making goals or making a future or planning on that future wife or girlfriend or husband or whatever it might be in your life. But there's still passions that I truly want. I want to go to Australia. I want to go out to where the dude lives. And I want to be able to speak to this dude. This dude has motivated me 100% that ever since I've shut out my friend or even family member out there, life it's been a bumpy road, but I can tell you that I don't have that, oh, well, have this going on. So you're an effing whoa. So you can't do it, and I've been locked up. That's all you tell me is you've been locked up, and we don't care anymore. There is 100% task that we are here to tell the Bible, to tell disciples, to be a disciple, to go out and tell the world about everything that He's done for us, because we do not deserve it. He could curse me out. He could tell me that he doesn't want me to be in his space or personal place or even wasting his time about all of this stuff. I'm no longer that kind of person. I have shut him out. I'm going to give him a lot of time to think about what his actions did, and if he ever ends up believing in me and trusting that I have quit after 23 or 22 days. Actually, 22 days is today, so 23 days would be today. So I'm glad that you guys pointed this stuff out. If you guys have any questions, comments, if you guys have any frustrations, if you guys have irritations, anything about what I have said here tonight, check out my other videos. I'll leave a link in. The reason why I've talked so much is because I'm very lonely inside, but I don't have to, like I've been explaining. But there's 12 disciples. One of them had to do a bunch of things. But we'll talk to you guys soon. We guys hope that you guys like this video later on this afternoon. And either good night or good morning, wherever you guys are at, and welcome in. If you guys are new here, we are glad to see you guys, and we can't wait for the next one. The thing is we as people do not want to get told that we're wrong. So riding my bike in the road and riding it very insane, like I was throwing up the F-bomb, I was cursing out on the streets, I was doing all this yesterday on Friday night. And I'm just questioning what is going on in my life. I'm perfectly fine, and I'm normal just like everybody else says. I have to stick to that, and I have to live it. And I'm glad and grateful for the people that are in my life, whether people are going to agree or disagree. We have our things. We can see each other anywhere in the globe, and I can't wait for the Australia people to communicate. I'm going to be quiet now, and God bless those ones that are willing to actually watch this all the way through. We are glad. And yeah, keep it real, and don't put on a damn fucking mask, because it's gonna shut you out, and that's who we are as people. We're gonna put on a fake mask and put on a fake smile, like I've been doing in some of my music that I've been making, and I'm grateful that this album has reached its peak. I have to move it a little bit further away. So right now I'm just taking a break on this. That's why I haven't been able to show it. So if you guys hear any new stuff, let me know and see what's up. Peace out, guys, and love you guys. We'll talk to you guys soon. And to be continued later on. Good day.